Hey guys, welcome to the second episode of Success Within, and today we have a very special guest. His name is Stefan, and he's also an entrepreneur. He's from California. We have him on the phone. So, what's up, Stefan? What's going on? How are you?
Hey Rod, thanks for having me on the show. I'm doing absolutely phenomenal. As always, I hope that you're doing the same.
Yeah, all good, man, all good. Minus some little technical problems with my AC. Everything's great.
Well, goes in the category of things you cannot control, but I know physically that must be horrible for you.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm almost 100 degrees inside my house, and yeah. So, Stefan, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself? What did you do, and a little bit of your story.
All right. Well, thank you so much. My name's Stefan. I'm 30 years old. First and foremost, my love and my passion in life is music. I gear a lot towards what I do in other endeavors so I can fund myself through music. I truly believe in my heart that we all have a purpose, and we are told our purpose at some point in our life. It's usually in our childhood. That's so the electrodes in your brain that allows you to perform that particular activity can actually strengthen over time. So by the time you're an adult, you can actually make a living doing those things. But that's something you don't learn until you're older. And when you're a kid, it's funny because people tell you, oh, you can't accomplish this, you can't do this, you can't do that. But I truly believe that everything is for your passion, for your desire, for your dreams. So I rap. I make music. I love it. Also, I'm looking to write movies and maybe shows. Also, my big dream, I keep that close to my heart. I actually don't discuss that right now. So that'll probably be revealed within I give it about a 20-year dream because that's something that's going to take a lot of other things to accomplish. So I'm rapidly expediting everything that I need to do for my overall big dream, which is something that I want to actually change the entire world. I want to leave my thumbprint on the world. I want my name to echo through the halls of eternity, essentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Leaving a legacy is, so important.
Very important.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's cool. So, have you been involved in maybe, like big projects, or in which projects have you been involved? Like, could be in music or I don't know, something you'd like to share with us?
Oh, I'm involved in something, but I legally cannot disclose at this time. But it is something that I honestly believe will reshape the world. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to look forward to when I can publicly speak about it someday. But I cannot disclose that at this time. All information is sealed.
That's cool. Yeah, I definitely... I absolutely understand, and well, I'm looking forward to the day that's gonna get out there and see what is it.
Oh, it's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful moment, and maybe I'll never reveal that I'm a part of it. I do also plan on doing a lot of things that I do not put my name on. I read in Shaq's book, I think it was the second one written, he owned a ton of stuff that he doesn't put his name on, like a lot of the 24-hour fitnesses, the 5 guys that he owns like in secret. And I was like, that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. It is. So what would you say is like the most important thing that you must do to be successful in life?
Ooh, in life, well, it takes belief to be successful in life. It takes absolute belief. It also takes willpower and focus. And you have to have a crystallized vision and thought of exactly what you want, because your mind will shape your future reality. I truly believe that your body just follows your mind. Right, that's been proven. So whatever you think, you become, because subconsciously your behaviors will be shaped around that. So you have to believe, man. You have to know what you want, because what's going to happen is eventually your body is going to start making moves, taking action towards your desired goal, towards your desired dreams, towards your desired passion. It's a beautiful thing. It's basically almost like a system that's in place, a natural law that you have to tap into. It's one of those things that works whether you're aware of it or not. So to be successful in life, the first thing you have to do is believe. Okay? And everything will come through that because your enthusiasm, your passion, your focus all stems from your belief that you actually can.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Actually, that's actually chapter number 2 of my upcoming book, The 10 Commandments of Success. And it's titled Believe to Achieve. And, I think I couldn't agree more with you, believing in yourself and believing that things can happen and that you can achieve your goals and your dreams. I think it's one of the most important things to accomplish what you want to, right?
Of course. Naturally, I can't wait to read that book.
Yeah, hopefully it's gonna be out it's gonna be published in October. It was supposed to be published in September, but life happens, and I have a mastermind in Costa Rica in a few weeks, so everything it was getting like too rushed. So I was like, I'm gonna take it easy, as it doesn't matter that I want to put it out there, like right now, and so like we were talking about before, like making that impact into other people's lives. But I want to do it the right way. So even if I have to wait maybe one more month or even 2, or maybe if it's one until next year, just make sure that it gets the right information that I want to put out there, so that and make everything right for it. So if it takes a little bit longer, so be it.
No, that's perfectly fine. I mean, once it's out. So never forget that. You want to put it out. I believe Dr. Dre was the first person I actually heard say that. Once it's out, it's no longer yours. So it has to be exactly how you want it, because you have to be comfortable with it. At the end of the day, you have to live with it. So. Yeah,
exactly. And there's a really thin margin for mistakes, especially with that kind of information and the reach that I want to get. So it has to be perfect. So I'm working on that, and definitely is one big project that I'm really excited about it. So should be good.
Well, I can't wait to read it.
Yeah, man. So now, would you say that believing is one of the key elements in what you do? Like this project that you were talking about, believing, would you say it's like the most important part of it, so that it can happen?
I would actually say, if I had to quantify it, it might be. I never thought of it in that terms, because with belief comes everything else that's positive stems from the belief. So actually, you know what? It is the most important, because everything positive stems from the belief. If you don't believe in it, how can you be enthusiastic about it? How can you be authentic about it? How could you have passion about it? How can you focus your time on it? If you don't believe in it, you're going to be miserable.
Yeah.
You may be able to hide that, but you're not going to get the results you want. Misery doesn't bring you the positive results that you want. Positivity brings you the positive results. And with belief, if you believe, it's easier to tap into it. Oh, I really believe in this. Even if you're doing things that aren't publicly, even if you're doing background stuff where nobody even knows you're a part of it, still, if you give that energy and you give that effort, it's going to help those that are in the forefront, that are the face of these things. So if you don't believe in it, you shouldn't even mess with it. I totally believe that. And nothing's for everybody. Do what you believe in personally, because you're going to have better results if you believe in it. If you don't believe in something, you're not going to get the desired results, because it's hard enough getting desired results doing everything correctly and believing anyway. So all that's going to happen is you're going to be further discouraged if you don't believe in it, because what you're going to do is you're going to reinforce any negative thoughts or feelings or emotions that you previously had.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the self-fulfilling prophecy. That's what it becomes.
Yeah.
It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy if you don't have belief. It's, I knew this was going to fail. So your mind will actually make things happen in a way to make it fail.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that if you don't believe, like if you don't truly believe in what you're doing, there's a chance that you won't take action towards it. Like really take, like do whatever it takes to make it happen. If you don't believe in it, why would you take action and put that time and effort and everything into it, right?
Exactly, brother. You're only going to put action towards what you actually believe in, right? That energy, that inertial energy is going to come from belief. You're going to tap in more. You're going to have more focus. You're going to have more enthusiasm. You're going to have more passion, right? We all get the same 24 hours. I know it's cliche, but it's so true as to how we divide that time and how we optimize it that brings us different results. And life is too short to be involved in things you don't believe in, do things you don't like. I think more people need to focus on things they do believe in and that they do like. Because it's going to keep you happier longer, and you get better results being happy. It's just a fact.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. But then there comes this other part, of the journey that doesn't matter, how strongly you believe in what you're doing. Obstacles are going to be in your way, right? So what obstacles have you faced during this journey that you've been going through as an entrepreneur?
Well, I face a lot of the same obstacles that are common for most people that want to do what they want to do. The biggest obstacle, of course, is money. Right? Not having the money to do what you want to do, or not having the time to do what you want to do. Of course, you have to learn how to overcome obstacles, right? So I learned that there's going to be no such thing as a perfect time. There's going to be no such thing as waiting till you save up just enough to have everything covered. That all comes on the back end, right? You have to be able to operate in chaos, because at the deepest level, no matter how structured your time is, no matter how structured your actions are, there are other things such as variables that happen in people's lives through life. This is what you said. So what you have to do is, okay, I don't have enough money to invest now. What I'm going to do is over the next month, I'm going to save up this month, right? This month I'm going to save this much from each check, or I'm going to spend this much time doing this. I'm going to spend 30 minutes where I do nothing but read. I'm going to read on how to be better myself. I'm going to read how to communicate better with people. I'm going to learn how to make sure that my mind is structured in a way where obstacles really don't stop you, because the only thing that stops us is ourselves. Unless you're in a situation where you're in some country where it's like literally restricted and you have to flee, there are a lot of things that people put in their own way. I always believe the biggest obstacle we face is really ourselves. Humans have a tendency to get in our own way. We put our fears up before everything. Just, okay, there's a solution for everything. I don't have enough money, just as I said. I will save up.
Yeah.
This
Exactly.
month. I will put time aside to do this. So I face the same obstacles everyone else is facing. I really don't worry about it too much. I don't stress about things like that, brother.
Yeah, exactly, because I think the difference, or the reason why you're not stressing that bad over it, is because you are aware of that these problems are not problems like so, but challenges, and you have the solution for them. It's going to take maybe time, or what it's going to take, the time, the effort, or, like you said, learning. I think the best or the greatest investment that you can do is in yourself. Learning, it's so important. A lot of people neglect that. It's like, well, I don't have time to read, or I'm not interested in this or that. I try to read at least one book per week. Maybe if I don't have time, maybe one book per every 10 days. If it's not a book, an audiobook, from Audible, or just, keep learning. Just keep feeding the mind. Because there's a quote that,
learn.
Yeah, because there's a quote that I really like.
Always learn. It's always investment.
Yeah, and so it's like...
No, not to cut you off, brother, but always.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
always.
If you don't, there's a quote that says, if you don't feed your mind with success, it will rot with mediocrity, and that's so true.
It will. You have to constantly feed it. It's like watching these motivational videos or education, or I also consider deep conversations with like-minded people to be important, because they're going to drop wisdom on you through actual life experience. And we actually tend to, if we intellectually respect someone or we emotionally care, we tend to put more value on their words, right?
Yeah.
So it's very careful to watch who you surround yourself with. So you do any of these things, and even if it's the same or similar answers, which a lot of them are, that's not the point. The point is your subconscious will eat these. They will eat these constant words, these constant sayings, these constant philosophies. And what happened is your life is going to become impacted because you're going to implement these things. Then you will start to improve your way of thinking. And with improving your way of thinking, your behavior will be better. With your behavior being better, your decisions will be better. With your decisions being better, your life will become better. You know, your future is basically determined based on the decisions that you're making now. So if you're investing in yourself and you're making the right decisions, your future is going to be very, very, very much better than if you were to do nothing and being mediocre, right? Isn't our basic human survival our basic human nature is really just to survive at the end of the day. I mean, I believe Robert Greene said in Mastery that by nature humans are lazy. And it does feel good to sleep in the bed for an extra 10 hours, you know, and not do anything. But at the end of the day, you only have so much time. And it seems as if the older I get, the more aware of how less time I have than I thought. As a child, it seems like you have forever. Mm-hmm. But the older you get, you realize that it almost seems like the days get shorter.
Yeah.
So it's like a constant, it's that, I got to go, I got to make something happen. I got to do it. I got to do something. I got to do something every day. Because you're alive every day. Therefore, you should be doing something every single day to better yourself. And that includes reading, watching motivational videos, learning your craft, speaking to somebody, getting educated. Self-education is the most important education you can have. Going out there and actually doing and experiencing. Very underrated. It's probably needed more than anything, actually.
Yeah.
You need to go out there and you need to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I think... yeah, and also, you know, I remember being a child, the only thing you want to do is, like, grow up. And, you know, like, fast forward to... So that you are able to do, you know, some things that you need to be, like, over 21 or, you know, whatever. And then you reach a certain age and you're just like... Well, where's that time? You know, where'd the time go? So like, you're just like, man, I just want to go back, you know, or slow down the time, and just like you start realizing, like you said, like days are shorter, you know, and you just want to slow down the time, and before you only wanted to, you know, go fast forward, and just go fast, and now you raise like certain awareness, like you said. That the only thing that you can never get back is time. So it's like being aware and how to invest that time the best way possible.
Of course, it has to be an asset. It's the greatest thing. The two most important things, honestly, are time and health.
Yeah.
Because you can't do anything without either. So those really are like 1A and 1B. You can't really put one over the other, but we have to really start valuing our time more. You know, the more I learn, the more I read. I'm talking about practical things from habits that highly successful people do, and something I see across the board. I see like the same things, you know, focus, be passionate, belief, value your time, no excuses, and this transcends past whatever they do. Yeah. It's the same principles they live by. And I'm like, okay, I have to at some point, because they're individual from each other, I have to respect that these are principles that actually need to be implemented in my life. Because it's like, oh, I want to be successful, but if you're not actually doing what it takes, you don't really want it. Right? We lie to ourselves. We tell ourselves, I want this. But if you don't actually take action, you don't really want it. You're just satisfied saying you want it. And in actuality, it really doesn't do anything. You're doing a disservice to yourself. And honestly, I personally believe we all owe the world the best versions of ourselves. Therefore, if you are not striving to attain the best version of yourself, you are not only cheating yourself, you're cheating civilization as a whole.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And like you said, if you really don't want it, like what you want to do whatever it takes, if it's something that you really want to accomplish, you're gonna get even, obsessed with that, right? To the point that you will do whatever it takes and doesn't matter, but you're gonna make it happen. You'll find a way. If there's, challenges along the way, you're gonna find just a way around it to make it happen. No matter if it takes you longer or if you have to put more effort than you thought, you're just gonna make it happen because that's what you truly want, and that's what truly makes you happy and fulfills that purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So, talking about all this stuff, do you think anyone could be an entrepreneur? Like get out of that close-minded, way of thinking that we've been taught since like forever? Like, do you think like anyone could get out of that box and be an entrepreneur?
That's a loaded question because if you look at it from a genetic level, right, what really separates us from each other? Nothing. So do I think anyone can do it? Yes, because if one person can, there are other people that can. I 100% believe that is possible. I know there are social constructs and people are worried about their family or what their friends believe, or they just want to stick to that fear that's basically been put into you since a child by society or parents. It's very possible anyone can be an entrepreneur. But the issue is it comes back to people getting in their own way and that fear eating them. And honestly, the way that everything is set up, everyone's not going to take that jump because some people are better being led, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. Let me clarify that. There's nothing wrong. If you're more comfortable just being led, there's nothing wrong with that. We all have different strengths and different weaknesses. Is it possible for everyone to be an entrepreneur? Yes. Is it for everyone? No. Because there are hard days. There are days where you don't make any money. And everyone doesn't have that willpower and focus to keep going regardless. Everyone does not. So but you can train yourself, but a lot of people it takes a lot of willpower and focus to develop willpower and focus. That's the ironic thing about it. It takes that to develop it. Right? Your failures will actually strengthen your willpower. Because the more your feet hit the pavement, the more determined, because you're putting more energy into it. And you're saying, okay, nothing's going to break me. Right? I believe in positive reaffirmations. One that I say to myself every day is, my will is unbreakable, my vision is clear. I say it in my head, I say it out loud, I close my eyes, and I say it to myself with a very, very, very strong voice in the back of my head, and I push it to the front of my head. So I truly believe that anyone can do it, but everyone won't do it. It's kind of one of those things where you can because another person can. No one's really greater than the next person. No one's really better. I don't believe anyone's superior. We all have different gifts, different things we're interested in. I truly believe in a world of abundance.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's so many things, like you said, it's a world of abundance, and people usually are afraid that, that like there's never enough, for everyone. But that's not true, because we don't all want the same things at the same time in the same way, right? So there's plenty for everyone if, they're willing to, do whatever it takes and go out there and just grab it, right?
Every day. I mean, everyone does not want the same thing. You're right. Everyone does not. But I think society kind of skews it in a way where people believe they want things that they don't, right? It's like so many people want to be professional athletes or artists till you find out, okay, well, go practice 8 hours. Most people just won't.
Yeah.
They just won't do that. Period. So they don't really want it. I mean, people are always in awe of these people who accomplish these dreams. I have this theory that the reason why these artists, these athletes, and these other celebrities with actual talent, not the talentless ones, are so idolized, and it is because deep down, they were able to get past the fears that hold back so many who thought that that's what they wanted in the first place. So they see somebody who actually went out there and made it into a tangible reality.
Yeah.
Right? So people are going to be idolized, and they put them in these godlike figures. That's just my theory, is because deep down so many people wanted or believe they wanted that dream, but they weren't really ready to put the work in. I mean, you know how many hours I spent rapping, how much money I spent on studio time, shooting videos, and stuff isn't cheap.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning. You still have to build communication and rapport with different people. People don't want to do that. Networking takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of social skills. A lot of people don't want to cultivate that skill set of being able to actually speak with somebody and communicate with people. It takes time. So people think they want something, but most people aren't serious. They really want things handed to them. Let's just face it. Most people want things handed to them in life. If you want it, you'll work for it. And understand that you'll get some pitfalls and there will be some discouragement. That's the trick. The trick is you have to learn what you can and what you cannot control in this world. What you can control, your attitude, your emotions, and your effort. If it doesn't fall within the category of something within, then you have to let it go. And with that also includes your state of mind. I'll include that in your attitude and your effort. But if it's something out of your control, you won't worry about it as much. And I think that's needed for every entrepreneur that stresses and I'm trying to get this sale, I'm trying to get this client. And I understand it's like life or death. But at the end of the day, you don't want to be in business with someone you were forced to be in business with. And that person is going to be looking for an escape route everywhere they can, right? You want to work with people that have a similar mindset to you, that you can learn from, that you can build from. Because at the end of the day, a human connection is deeper than any dollar connection.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to first...
I know, went off on a tangent, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you have to first build a relationship, like we were talking before, people, it's like people don't look at people no more like people, but a business or just money or just a materialistic thing, instead of realizing that they're dealing with people, with human beings, right? So yeah, that can complicate things a little bit too. So and talking about difficulties, when like you said, there's gonna be setbacks and you're gonna get problems. So when you're faced with these difficulties, what keeps you motivated and keep pushing towards your goals? What's that thing or things that won't let you quit?
Well, all right. So I have a EP series. I put one every Motivation Volume 1, Innate Truth. I'll say I have 5 planned, but I truly believe everything is motivation, because the only motivation that really exists is internal motivation. Anything outside of yourself can flee, it can go away, right? It's a fleeting thing. So if you learn to internalize all motivation without taking the poison, just someone's doubting you, right? You can either treat it as it should be treated, but if you choose to, if you need fuel, you can internalize it, squeeze the poison out, and use it to motivate yourself. I'm going to do it because I know I can do it, right? It's like I just said, I only worry about what I can control. So that always keeps me grounded. I don't believe I'm more powerful than I am, but I know how powerful I am. And most people like to believe they're not as powerful as they are.
Yeah.
That's why things happen to them, and it's the woe is me, where you have to take the mindset of, I know what I can do, and I'm going to go shape my future for myself. I'm going to do something every day to do that. So what keeps me going is I know that right now, I'm not where I want to be in life. Therefore, until I'm at where I want to be in life, there's no reason for me not to continue moving towards that direction. You have to. As long as you're breathing, you should be moving towards your goals, towards your dreams. You have to keep going. Your motivation always has to be internal. It has to come from yourself. You have to know where you want to be, the person you have to become to be there, and what you need to do to get there. You have to. You have to every day. And when you do that, you don't have any stress or anxiety. Because a lot of stress and anxiety comes from worrying about things you cannot control. I felt stress and anxiety maybe once in the last 5 years, and that's because I was having a dream and I woke up with that feeling. And I'm must have been stressing out in my dream. And I was, oh, this is a horrible feeling. People live with this? This is horrible.
Yeah.
And I tell people what I've learned, to leave that stress and anxiety alone. And it's usually the ones that stress out the most and, oh, I can't do that. Okay, of course you can't do that because you told yourself you can't. If you told yourself you could, you could. It's very simple. We are our worst enemies. We get in our own way. It's almost like progress. Oh, let me jump in front of that. You know, it's like, no, you have to get out your own way. You have to go and you have to learn, because if there's a trait that you have that's negative, you gotta cut it out. I work on myself consistently. I'm not perfect. I have traits, I have downfalls. I'm a human being. But I consistently want to trim the fat to get to where I need to be. You know, I believe Napoleon Hill said you need to visualize 30 minutes a day, your future self.
Yeah.
You know, and that includes everything you want. And that includes all the characteristics, all the principles you need to live by. That's all I'm saying is worry about what you can control. Don't worry about what you cannot. You will be stress-free. You won't have anxiety. Your discouragement actually won't be as bad because you'll be more honest with yourself. If you honestly assess yourself, you won't be discouraged as easily because you would have already thought about it. And okay, I'm going to put this in this box. And if you're always thinking about finding the solution, because I heard Jack Ma talk about it, Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, look for the solution. You don't focus on the negative. You focus on how you can solve problems. Because if you're worrying about the problem you're facing, what good does that really do if you're not looking for a solution? You know?
Yeah.
You always have to look for the solution, always.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I remember, now that we're talking about this, I remember something that one of my friends told me, like, probably 6 or 8 years ago. I mean, that's a lot of time. But I can remember it, like, clearly, like, if it was yesterday. One of my friends, Carlos, told me once, you know, maybe I was going through, you know, a problem or, you know, just a little setback, and I would go to him and, you know, tell him about it, you know, expecting some advice in return. And I think the best advice that he could ever give me was something like this. He told me, if your problem has a solution, why worrying? And if it doesn't have a solution, why worrying? Right? If it has a solution, there's no reason to worry about it. Just there's a solution, just find it and solve the problem. But if there's no solution, well, why would you stress out for something that's out of your control? If there's something that you can do nothing about it, there's no point in stressing and being, you know, like putting your time and your energy in something that you can't control. Until this day, I remember that phrase, and it's like, you know, every time I'm facing with some challenge, and I'm like, okay, there's a solution. I start thinking of the solution, and, you know, all the negativity goes away, and I'm just staying positive and trying to figure out how to solve this problem. And if I'm like, well, there's nothing else I can do, I just let it go, and that's it, you know. It takes time to master.
The amazing part of perspective.
Yeah, yeah, and it takes time to master, because I remember telling this to more people, and they're like, well, I can't stop stressing out, because, you know, even if I can't control it, I can just let it go, and, you know, and I know it's hard, but it's something you have to learn to do for yourself and for your own sake.
Yeah, that's one of those things that transcends any one thing. That transcends into your life, man. Your whole life will improve just realizing that one simple thing. Oh, I can't control it, I shouldn't worry. You will be more relaxed. You won't worry about other people's opinions. All that will leave, and you need those traits to succeed. You need to not really care about the negativity that comes from other people.
Yeah.
You need to not be able to worry about that, and that will allow you, oh, okay, I can't control that, or I'm leaving it alone. And it's so easy, and all it is perspective. Life happens to everybody. It's just how we deal with it, period.
Yeah, it's how you react to the circumstances, not what actually happens to you.
Always be positive. Always think for the solution. And solutions are usually found in a positive state of mind.
Yeah, every time. Oh, man, I swear every time that we talk, it's like there's a moment that I feel like, you know, if we were sharing the same brain or something. It's just amazing. So cool. It's so cool, man.
Universal knowledge transcends circumstance, transcends race, religion, everything. It's just a basic human experience. And it transcends everything. It's universal knowledge. It's already there before us. You have to learn it and tap into it. And it's such a beautiful thing when you understand, oh, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Because we see people, right, when I was younger, how are these people able to be so successful? Life is this, life is that. And I just was negative and complaining all the time. And I learned all it is perspective. They train their mind, and it does take time. Another positive reaffirmation I say, which I just started saying to myself this weekend, was, my mind always thinks of the solutions. My mind always finds the solutions. My subconscious always finds the answers. And I say this to myself because what's going to happen is I'm going to always find the solution. I'm going to always find the answer because that's how my mind is going to be trained. That's why my will is unbreakable and my vision is clear. That's why I don't let other people's negativity get to me now. Because that's hardened. I've done too much. I've seen too much with my own eyes. I've felt too much, you know?
Yeah.
There's certain things. I learned too much. I learned that the more I learn, the more I know I don't know. And I found that out when I was, 18? The more you know, the more you find out you don't know.
Yeah,
and it's humbling, but it's such a beautiful feeling to know, wow, I can learn more because everything I know now, at one point I didn't know. So it's like, wow, I can keep learning. It's exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And there's always the things that you know, the things that you know that you don't know. But the most important ones, I think, are the things that you don't know that you don't know. Because I think that there's, that's the where, I don't know, like, if you can put it like this way, like where the magic hides. You know, on those things that you don't know, man, that's where the treasure is.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing is, like I said, doing is so important because trial and error is so important because you can read books, you can speak to people, but everyone operates a little differently. So there has to be a certain sense of authenticity to you. Where, okay, it didn't work for this person, but it may work for me if I do this, right? Because we both can open up a bakery right now, right? And I don't know your cooking experience, but I'm not a professional pastry chef. I'm going to hire a pastry chef. It would be the same as if you said, well, I'm just going to cook myself without experience, and I'm going to go hire someone who knows what they're doing. Whose bakery do you think is going to end up being more successful?
Yeah.
You know, mine, because I hired the personal. I realized what I was good at, and I realized what I wasn't good at, and I didn't let my ego get in the way. I said, hey, I don't know how to do this. We have to be able to assess what we can't do. That's so important. That's one thing people don't like to do because then they have to be completely honest with themselves. But there's nothing wrong with that because we're all different pieces of the puzzle. And I've heard this from the MMA fighter George St. Pierre. I've heard this from Gary Vee. I've heard this from Warren Buffett himself. You surround yourself with people who make up for your weaknesses. You hire people for your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to be a team, you have to be surrounded by people who are able to do things you can't do because, let's face it, no one can do everything by themselves anyway. That's a waste of energy. And also the quality of your product won't be as good if you're doing everything yourself. That's a ridiculous thing. The power of delegation is so important, but you have to be able to choose people to surround yourself with and who to go in business with. You really do. At the end of the day, I mean, I see that done a lot, so that's just how I feel. Sorry, I went off on another tangent.
Just to wrap this up, what would be the most important piece of advice that you could give to, you know, all these people pursuing their dreams and trying to reach their goals and, you know, doing just whatever it takes? What would be the best piece of advice for them?
The best advice, be yourself. Be true to yourself. Do what you believe in. Focus. Be relentless. Learn specialized knowledge in the field that you want to operate in. Do not be concerned with knowledge that will not better you and will not help you succeed. And remember to surround yourself with people who are like-minded and will be able to cover for your weaknesses. Remember that. You can if you believe you can. Period. Other people's opinions are irrelevant on the matter. Peace and love. Be true to yourself.
I love it, man. I love it. I think that's just great. So, yep. So we reached the end of this interview, of this episode number 2 of Success Within. And my man Stefan, thank you so much for being part of this second episode.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for welcoming me on, letting me ramble and express my thoughts. At the end of the day, everyone has an opinion, and I can't wait to listen to this 5-10 years from now and see how many of the same views I hold and see which views have changed. I think that's interesting. I would like to say, if any of you want to add me on Facebook, feel free to. Steffond Shearer, Steffond Shearer. My Twitter is Noah Strike, KNOWISTRITE. My Instagram is the same, but it's KNOW_IS_TRITE. Feel free to contact me. You can look up my music on YouTube or SoundCloud under the same names. Thank you so much. I look so forward to everyone who hears this changing the world. The world needs you. If the world did not need you, you would not be here.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more with that last part, man. And yeah, I'll leave your links in the description box below, so that anyone can find you. Your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, all your information is gonna be in the description box. So yeah, man, let's see what we can do for this world, because like you said, this needs to be a better world. I believe in that. There's so many things happening lately that I think we really need to raise awareness and just make this a better world for everyone, and of course for the ones living in it right now, but most importantly for the generations to come.
Beautiful. We're all part of the same chain, man. We're all a different link, and we all need each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, once again, Stefan, thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.